Okay, here we are in our grow chamber. I just peeled it up. Peeled up the zipper door here. Take a look inside. It's April 10th. These were all started so that they will have been 8 weeks, I think, for the second week of May is what I did this year. At which point they'll go out into a unheated greenhouse. So here we are. I had some issues with the tomatoes when they got transplanted in these pots. They got transplanted from a small tray, so they were all, the smaller size here. And you can see how the lower leaves, although they always die off, the untrue leaves, the first leaves, right? These are the first true leaves. But anyway, these first little ones, they'll die off anyway, but they're yellow and purple, and that is always a sign of stress and a water issue. So you'll see that. And you'll see a little bit of green on the surface here. And I'm trying to wipe away a little bit here. So what happened is I moved it into this soil mix here in a pretty deep pot for the size of the roots of the plant. I don't want to have to move them more than once if I'm going to be transplanting in 8 weeks. So this is the style I do. But when the small plants are in this volume of soil and you water them, you can't initially water them every day. It's just their roots are taking time to settle, and the plant is taking time to decide it can really grow again and push roots out. So during that phase, not as much water is being used. There's not enough roots in here yet. There's just a little bit. So the rest of it, if there's not enough air, you can create bad things on the surface here, molds and whatnot. So this isn't like a terribly concerning situation right now. There's a little bit of green mold right there. I could just move it back with a fork or something if I want, to just get some air in there. But really what I've done right now is I've cut back. It's now been 2 days since I watered. They look better. They got taller. And I installed the fan here. And this just stays on. Right now I have it on 24/7. And it just circulates. It's pointed at that wall back there, so we've got some circulation in here. I think during the day I leave this front door cracked a bit just to do a little air exchange. And now I've got the whole thing open. I've also got something that monitors, let me see if you can see this, temperature. Wow, that's hard to see. There we go. It's monitoring the humidity and the temperature. So if you look over here, and this is old and dirty unfortunately, but there's a little bar graph that tells you how many degrees it's been in the last however many hours. And it'll tell you, it's been up 5 degrees, down, whatever, of whatever it is now. So you'll take the temperature now and it'll say, oh, it dropped 5 degrees 3 hours ago or whatever. That's what this bar graph is telling you. So that's pretty helpful. If it gets colder than, what it's got here for a degree difference, then, you won't really know what temperature it was at. But right now, I'm kind of more interested in the humidity, because when it goes down enough in here, if this is working right, that's also going to be an indicator. Although the thing I trust the most, of course, so that says it's 70. Having a couple different things that are giving you readings is good. So humidity, my reading is here. And my reading is also, of course, here. The more important one is to just look at the plant. We're looking at the top and checking the soil moisture here. We're also checking at the bottom underneath here, looking at those holes, trying to push our finger into them to see what the moisture content is like down there too, especially since we haven't watered it in a day or two. How well is the soil mix holding water? If it's holding water really well, and the plants have small roots, then definitely you can't water every day. You're going to develop a lot of problems with your plants if you do that. So that's what we're looking at right now. And the temperature over here, and I have this guy on, 70 degrees. It's actually on right now because I have the door open, but I kicked up the temperature a bit to help with the, to dry out the soil in here a little bit. So I've got that going, and I've got the fan going, and I've got the practice of not watering these every day. And I'll check again tomorrow to see, when I can water again.